Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and the Hasbro Selfie Series is here. And the one question on all of our minds, whether we have it or not, is it worth it? And you know what, we're going to take a second, we're going to take a few minutes, and we're going to look at it. And yeah, we got it right here. So yeah, without further ado, let's do this. So let's start things off by unboxing it, and as I showed, I have this right here, and you know, wanted to do this in two segments. We're gonna do it right here, just so we can kind of do the side to side, and then we'll take it to the review table over there, and you know, kind of look at it a little more closely. So as you can see, we do have a protective sleeve here, and just Selfie Series kind of all over it. You can see the kind of color combinations. We've seen this before. A lot of the green, just saying like this is completely plastic-free packaging, continuing what Hasbro has been doing. So yeah, and as I said, this is a sleeve, so this just comes off. And then I got Power Rangers, probably unsurprising to those of you who follow me. So here it is. I've already looked at it before. I didn't want to do the reaction shot just because I couldn't wait. And so there we have me, and you know, initial reaction just right off the bat. I mean, the features are definitely right. You know, as you can see right here, trying to get as close as I can without it being awkward, but my features are definitely there. You know, I can turn to the side a little bit, and you know, I have a rather unique nose, I would probably say, and you know, I think it definitely kind of got caught here, so that's pretty cool. But there is definitely something a little off. And you know, I'm going to go over that a little bit later as we get it onto the table, but yeah, other than that, just packaging. We have, you know, Power Rangers logo. We have that Tom Whalen art that we unfortunately do not get with any of the Lightning collection anymore. And yeah, just a render of the Red Ranger, not the figure or anything, on the back, and all the legalese that you need, and that's about it. So let's get this on the table. So here we are, and when Hasbro said plastic free, they were not joking, because there is not even tape on here, on like top, bottom, hell, even the box it came in was not taped. So that's an interesting extreme for this to come to. And you know, just kind of unboxing it, it unboxes like any other figure. Opening from the bottom, probably gonna be a little bit easier here. So you can open that up. We get our little piece of paper there with all the like don't eat it, etc. Open it up. So there's our shell. Put that on the ground. Here we go. Here's our thing. We got some accessories here in a bag, as we were used to seeing. As you can see, the figure is just kind of in this little like tray sort of deal that comes over the back. And yeah, we got these pieces. I'm going to use that. We're just gonna cut. Hopefully. There we go. That back. And then we can take the figure out, hopefully. Trying. Dang. So here's the aftermath. Trash. And here is our figure. Adjust here. So here we go. And you know, as I had alluded to in the last section, you know, there's something off about the likeness. And you know, I'm gonna say I think the head is just rounder, and that's probably due again to you know, they probably have a stock head that they're doing. These are kind of 3D printed from what I understand. And yeah, so while I think kind of like my eyes and nose and mouth are kind of very, very close, I just think the shape of the head kind of throws it off. So there is that. However, it is really cool that this just exists, that this is a thing that you can get, and that much is awesome. The head is removable, from what I've seen from other people reviewing theirs. So there you can see, pops right out. You can see the socket right there. Kind of looks like standard Hasbro head sculpts, and you know, just kind of pops right on. You can hear that snap. So that is pretty cool, and definitely a fan of that. And you know, the body is just your standard Red Ranger figure that we have seen before. None of the updates or anything like that, but yeah, looks pretty good. And get this standing for a bit, pose it up a little bit, kinda. As you saw, I just took this out, so I've not warmed it up or anything. And then we get to that bag. And for accessories, we just get three things. We get our effect piece, we get a blade blaster in blaster mode, and then we get the power sword that we have seen many times before now. So yeah, that's all cool. And yeah, so that's accessories, and then that's the aesthetics, and yeah, just pretty cool that this exists, and that's definitely a thing. And you know, another thing I wanted to point out, coming in a little bit closer to here, is clearly there's supposed to be a head sculpt, and clearly I shaved my head for the most part. Obviously, they weren't going to get the whatever I'm doing in the back of my head sort of deal going on, but yeah, there's kind of an outline and a lighter part here at the top of the head that does not match the skin tone of the front, which is also an interesting piece. So that is also worth noting, I guess. Again, if you're like me and you know you do not have hair on the top of your head, it is still going to kind of show that sort of line. So that is interesting. But yeah, so that's kind of how the figure looks. That's what it comes with. That's what happens when we take it out of the box. And yeah, so I'm not going to do any size comparisons, but let's go into the next section and kind of look at it next to, a little more closely next to my other two plastic avatars. And here you have, again, my three plastic human avatars, and you know, bit of a progression here. And so this is the, you know, articulated icons I've been using before. It's just the standard head that came on the Silver Samurai version figure. And you know, obviously I added the goatee. I haven't added the rest of my hair to this thing yet either. But you know, I thought it was a reasonable likeness to use, so I did that. And then my newer one, which is the Valaverse Action Force. The Karak body, essentially, with the bone collector head with the goatee on it. And definitely certainly not a spot on likeness of me at all, but I figured close enough, you know what I mean? Plus I love these bucks. So then we come into, you know, what we got here. And again, I think my actual likeness, my actual human likeness here is somewhere between these three. And you know, again, I like that the features showed up, but yeah, just the head shape is wrong, and that the ears, I think, kind of stick out maybe a little bit more here, pardon that. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. I think it's as good as a novelty, but as, you know, something I thought was going to kind of work into rotation for my actual plastic avatar, maybe not. So yeah, so that is what it is. So now you can kind of see it amongst the group. And so for moving on from here, we're gonna go into my final thoughts, and I'll just kind of discuss, you know, whether I think it's worth it, and, you know, kind of the finer points I haven't touched on in the last two sections. So let's do that now. So just wrapping things up, and you know, again, because of my final thoughts and kind of one last look. So here's the figure out of the package, and then my actual physical human face. And you know, again, as you can see, like the face shape's just off, you know, because my face is a little more oval, and this is definitely like a circle. So I think that throws it off, but definitely some of the features are there. Obviously they're not going to add, you know, facial hair. You know, that was an option, something you pick, and the shading is definitely there. It's just like not physically molded in, and, you know, I can add that. I've done it before, and I'm definitely gonna do that other than, like, you know, kind of around. But yeah, no, it's definitely a cool novelty, and I think that, you know, if this is something that interests you just in general, like, okay, cool, I can get my likeness on a figure, it's worth a shot. I thought at the $60, absolutely worth trying. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I have it. At the $80 that I think it is now, you know, honestly, I think that's a bit steep considering what you're getting, and you know, to go to a artist who is a sculptor and does actual likenesses and portraits for 112 action figures. I've heard the rates are generally around 150, which obviously is a lot more. It's almost double, but you know, you're going to get something probably a lot more legit, a little bit more one-to-one. So honestly, I would probably save for that if that is the case. Again, if it being up at $80, you might as well save and get the one that's kind of one-to-one. Other than that, I think this is definitely cool as a novelty. It's cool that they do it, and I think as time goes on, this technology is definitely in the next couple of years even going to get better. So this might be more worth that $80 price tag in a couple of years, but as it stands, It's going to be a personal choice. Again, you decide how you spend your money, and what's worth it to you. And I think at $60, this is perfect. So yeah, I'm definitely glad I got in early. But beyond that, you got to make your own decisions. And so yeah, those are my thoughts on it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Did you get one? What did you think of yours? There's definitely a lot of sliders or not sliders, but like there are a lot of options and kind of fine tuning you can do. And I think with more time with the system in the app, you could definitely come up with something a little more close. And I think that was kind of part of the problem with it for me, was that I kind of rushed through the process, and I was like, okay, I got to get this done. And there was no way to see it after you had submitted it, which, I mean, obviously they're not going to allow you to make adjustments, but I kind of would have liked to have seen it and kind of made judgments from there. But that is what it is, and that is as it stands now. It's definitely a cool technology. I'm glad Hasbro is doing it, and I kind of eager to see if other companies kind of follow suit and try to one-up it. So that will be a very interesting thing to see. And yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. So, I hope you found this informative, somewhat entertaining, and, I helped you make your decision if you are looking at the Selfie Series as to whether you want to get one, whether you're getting G.I. Joe, Power Rangers, Ghostbusters, and I think they were doing one or two others. Pretty sure there's a Marvel one as well. But yeah, definitely cool. And, I just hope I helped. So if I did, please comment, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I do reviews for all sorts of things, and have 3 videos going up a week right now. So yeah, absolutely. Please check those out. Links in the description below, all that other stuff I usually say. So thank you so much for watching. And yeah, ultimately, I hope you take care of yourself, take care of those around you, and most importantly, stay weird, simians.